So example 1 is just a little bit of practice factoring, okay? And the reason why I included the solution in here is because I kind of like their little table, okay? It's not the way I do it, but it's interesting. The way that I do it, okay, I would actually take a factor of 2 out first because that's really always a good first step, okay? We already did this one. Anyway, so yeah, I showed you how I did this, okay? You would be looking for two numbers that are going to add to give you -1, okay? And you're looking for those numbers that will multiply to give you -6, okay? So you just look at all the factors of -6, -6 and 1, 6 and -1, -3 and 2, 3 and -2, okay? That looks a little too much like 3 minus 2, but 3 and -2, okay? Okay, so I'm choosing the ones that will add to give me -1. That's obviously these two. All right. And so if you want to write it out in factored form, you're going to write, sorry, I should have done that on the side, but you're going to write it as 2 times x plus 2, x minus 3. Okay. Did I? Yep. We didn't actually do this one. This is a different one. Okay. So, and basically, the reason that you're doing this, it doesn't say to do this, but you know that the roots of your equation now, or the intercepts of the graph of the quadratic function would be -2 and 3. Okay, so just a quick look at their table. They list all the factors, just like I did there, okay? And then they have a table that shows their product and their sum, okay? And I think most people would stop right there, right? Because they would know that that's the right one. But that's another way to do it, is just write out that table, okay? B, 1/4 x squared minus x minus 3. Yeah, I don't like having that factor of 1/4, okay? So what you can do is you can take out a factor of 1/4. And so when you take out a factor of 1/4, you're basically dividing each term by 1/4. And dividing by 1/4 is the same as multiplying by 4. Okay, so that would actually leave you with this. Okay, and if you're not comfortable with that, just go ahead and multiply it back to check. So 1/4 times x squared is 1/4 x squared. 1/4 times -4x is -x. And 1/4 times -12 is -3. Okay. And then you want to factor this. So again, you're looking for two numbers that are going to add to give you -4 and multiply to give you -12. Okay. And if you go through your factors of -12, you're going to go -12, 1 and -12, -1 and 12, 2 and -6. Okay, and there it is right there. I found the one. Because as I go through, I'm thinking about what they add up to. Okay. And lots of times you're just going to get these. You don't have to do all this showing your work and everything. Okay. So it's going to be x plus 2, x minus 6. And so the roots of your quadratic equation are going to be -2 and 6. Okay, and at 9x squared minus 0.64 y squared. Okay, and hopefully when you see two terms like that, you're going to see a difference of squares. This isn't a quadratic function because it has an x squared and a y squared term, but it is an expression that you can factor. Okay, so we take the square root of the first term plus the square root of the second term. And we take the square root of the first term minus the square root of the second term. Okay? And that's it. That's the answer for that one. Okay? So hopefully you remember that. That's all the review from last year.